Hello all my dear student friends. Welcome to this session. Now let us study the various sensors used in IC engines. Which are the various sensors which are used to sense the different parameters related with the engine or the engine performance in case of the IC engines? What are these sensors? The sensors may be the crank angle sensor or the RPM sensor is also present. The airflow sensor, the airflow rate is sensed. The manifold absolute pressure is also sensed. Throttle position sensor is also present there. The position of the throttle can also be known to the engine control unit. Oxygen sensor is also used in the exhaust manifold. Coolant temperature is also measured and that information is given to the ECU. The engine vacuum sensor in the inlet manifold. The vacuum in the inlet manifold is also sensed. The air conditioning sensors. So whether the air conditioner is on or not, and the temperature etc. is also sensed. The ignition timing is also sensed by the various sensors. And we are also having the sensors which will sense the oil pressure, the engine oil pressure. So let us study these sensors one by one. First of all, the crank angle sensor. So for this purpose, in order to sense the position of the crank as well as the RPM of the engine, the speed of rotation of the engine, we use a permanent magnet inductive signal generator which is mounted close to the flywheel, and this permanent magnet inductive signal generator will radiate a magnetic field. As the flywheel spins in this magnetic field, the pins of the flywheel are also rotated in the magnetic field. So due to this, an AC waveform is delivered to the ECU to indicate the speed of the rotation. So due to the rotation of the pins of the flywheel in this magnetic field, an AC waveform is generated, and this AC waveform is delivered to the engine control unit so that the engine can know the speed of rotation, and the engine can also know the crank angle. Another sensor is the airflow sensor, AFS. So this airflow sensor is mounted between the air filter and the throttle body. So when this air is entering inside the engine, first of all it is filtered, and then it passes through the throttle valve where the quantity of the air or the flow rate of the air can be controlled. But in between this we are having the sensors. In between the filter and the throttle body we are having this airflow sensor, and that will sense or that will measure the flow rate of the air. So this flowing air will deflect a vane or flap, and this vane or flap will wipe the potentiometer resistance track. We are using a potentiometer, and the resistance track of the potentiometer is wiped. That means the position is changed. The position of the potentiometer track is changed, right? And this will generate a variable voltage signal. So this variable voltage signal is given to the ECU, electronic control unit, and with the help of this variable voltage signal, the varying airflow rate can be measured or can be known to the ECU. We are studying the sensors. The third sensor is the manifold absolute pressure, MAP. So the manifold absolute pressure sensor will measure the absolute pressure or the vacuum in the inlet manifold. That means when the air is entering inside the engine, first of all it passes through the inlet manifold. So in this inlet manifold we have this sensor which can sense the pressure or the vacuum of the air which is present in the manifold, inlet manifold. But this value of the vacuum or pressure is converted into electric signal and then it is given to the electronic control unit. Now the electronic control unit will measure or will predict the engine load based on the vacuum or the pressure of the air which is present in the inlet manifold, which is entering inside the engine. The electronic control unit can predict the engine load, because when the engine load is more air will try to enter inside the engine through the inlet manifold. So depending upon the engine load, the electronic control unit will adjust the ignition timing. So in order to adjust the ignition timing, it is necessary to sense the manifold absolute pressure or the vacuum or pressure which is present in the inlet manifold. That means we can measure the quantity of the air which is entering inside the engine, and the load can be predicted by the ECU, and accordingly the ECU will adjust the ignition timing. The throttle position sensor informs the electronic control unit about the idling or acceleration. What is the position of the throttle? So what is this throttle? Throttle is nothing but that valve which controls the flow rate of the air or the charge which is entering inside the engine cylinder. So the throttle position decides the flow rate of the air or charge entering the engine cylinder. If the throttle position is more open, then more air or charge will flow towards the engine. If the throttle position is towards the closing position, then less air or charge will enter inside the engine. So what is the position of the throttle? That will give the information regarding whether the engine is idling or it is accelerating. What is the load on the engine? Whether the speed is being increased or there is a retardation. So what is going on with the speed of the engine? That signal, that information is given to the ECU, and the ECU will adjust the fuel and the ignition timing. The ECU will adjust the percentage of the fuel. That means it will adjust the air fuel ratio, right? So if the quantity of the fuel has to be increased, then that will be done by the ECU. After getting the signal of the throttle position, if the throttle position is more open, that means more air is entering. So when more air is entering, if you want to maintain the air fuel ratio, then the fuel quantity should also be increased. Fuel quantity should also be increased, and the appropriate air fuel ratio should also be maintained. So this is done by the ECU. So this type of processing of the information and giving the output is done in this unit known as the electronic control unit, ECU. So the ECU will also adjust the ignition timing depending upon the throttle position. The ignition timing of the fuel will also be adjusted by the ECU. Another sensor is the oxygen sensor. So the oxygen which is present in the exhaust, if some oxygen is present in the exhaust, what is some percentage of oxygen may enter the exhaust, because this oxygen is not utilized for combustion. So though it is undesirable, but it may happen that the oxygen will leave the engine cylinder without combining with the fuel. So the oxygen in the exhaust is sensed, and this is sensed with the help of a ceramic device which is placed in the exhaust manifold on the engine side of the catalytic converter. Right? So after engine we are having the exhaust manifold, the exhaust gas leaves the engine and then it enters the exhaust manifold, and after that we are having the catalytic converter. So in the catalytic converter, near the catalytic converter, on the engine side in the exhaust manifold, this oxygen sensor is placed. It is a ceramic device. So it will sense the oxygen and the information is given to the ECU, and accordingly ECU will adjust the duration of fuel injection. The duration of the fuel injection, the time for which the fuel should be injected, that is adjusted by the ECU after sensing the oxygen, the quantity of oxygen which is present in the exhaust manifold of the engine. Next sensor is nothing but the coolant temperature sensor. It is located in the cylinder head or intake manifold. So in the engine, the part which is having maximum temperature is the cylinder head. So that is in the combustion chamber is having maximum temperature, because the fuel burns and later on the heat flows from this part to the other parts of the engine. Therefore this part, that is the combustion chamber, which is nothing but very close to the cylinder head, so that is the hottest portion of the engine. So there where the coolant temperature sensor is located, so whatever coolant is being used for cooling the engine, this coolant comes in contact with the engine cylinder and it is circulated around the engine cylinder, and mostly it has to come in contact with the engine cylinder, especially at the cylinder head. So there we are locating the sensors, coolant temperature sensors, and the information goes to the ECU or the computer, and the computer will control fuel supply and the temperature dependent emission functions. The temperature dependent emission functions will be managed, will be manipulated by the computer, as well as the fuel supply will also be controlled by the computer after sensing the temperature of the coolant. Now next is the engine vacuum sensor, EVS. So in order to sense the engine vacuum, piezoelectric sensors are used. So the piezoelectric sensors help the engine control unit to measure the vacuum and thus adjust fuel metering in relation to the engine load. So the vacuum of the engine is sensed by using the piezoelectric sensors, and this information is given to the ECU, and the ECU will control the fuel injection. The injectors will be controlled. The fuel pump and the fuel injector will be controlled by the ECU, and thus the fuel metering will be adjusted depending upon the engine load. So when the load on the engine is more, of course the fuel which is supplied should be more. There are some air conditioning sensors. So we know there is a switch. So this switch will indicate whether the compressor clutch is engaged. Compressor means compressor of the air conditioner. So when the compressor of the air conditioner is engaged to the crankshaft, then the air conditioning system will start, and that is indicated by a switch. Or if we press the switch, then automatically the compressor is coupled with the help of the clutch to the crankshaft, and the air conditioning system starts. So that is also indicated by the switch, because the light is glowed in the switch, and by pressing the switch we can start the air conditioner by engaging the shaft of the compressor to the crankshaft with the help of the compressor clutch. And what is the function of ECU? The electronic control unit will adjust the fuel flow, and it will adjust some other parameters of the engine, so that the extra load due to air conditioning will be compensated. In order to compensate the extra load on the engine, because the air conditioner is having the compressor, this compressor requires power, and this power is taken from the engine only. So when the air conditioner is started, the load on the engine is increased. So this extra load has to be compensated by adjusting the fuel. The fuel flow has to be increased when the AC is switched on. Next point is the ignition timing sensor, ITS. So there is a change in the magnetic field due to the movement of the piston. When the piston moves, say from TDC to BDC, or IDC to ODC, or ODC to IDC, whatever may be the movement of the piston, but the piston is moving, it is reciprocating inside the engine cylinder. So due to this motion of the piston, there is a change in the magnetic field. So this will create a square pulse. This will generate a square pulse. So this square pulse, this information is given to the ECU, and the ECU will activate the ignition coil, so that the spark is produced at the right time, at the appropriate time, and this time should be very precise and accurate in microseconds. Next one is the oil pressure sensor. So oil means engine oil. The pressure of the engine oil is sensed, and in case of the SI engines, the engine oil pressure is important for the operations of the systems like variable valve timing system. So we have already studied the variable valve timing engines. So in the variable valve timing engines, the valve timings can be varied, and for that purpose, in order to operate the actuator, the pressure of the oil, the engine oil, should not fall below a certain value. It should have a particular value, and therefore this oil pressure should be maintained, and for that purpose the engine oil pressure should be sensed, and this information should be given to the electronic control unit. So thank you, my dear friends.